This episode is rated M for mature audiences. The views and opinions expressed on this show are those of the speaker and do not necessarily reflect those of the PFC Entertainment Network or any of the affiliates that make this show possible.
This is the Pure Fury Creations Entertainment Network.
And we welcome you to On This Day in the 80s here on the PFC Entertainment Network. Along with Jill Bayn, I'm Jason Clouse. We certainly appreciate you tuning in. And more importantly, we certainly appreciate your patience while we've been on something of a hiatus. But as we have talked off air here, it kind of came at a, you hate to take an extended break for any reason whatsoever, but there is I'm very much a sign guy. Like, things happen for a reason, and,
Yes.
and it seems like the hiatus came at a point in time that I know that I needed it, but I didn't realize until Jill and I talked off air that it came at a pretty opportune time for her as well. We're certainly not going to get into it, but what we will say is it's good to be back on the air.
Yes.
And holy shit, it could not happen on a better day. But before we get to that, Jill, it is great to see you.
It's good to see you. I almost forgot what you look like.
Yeah, well, this is it.
Yeah, see, it's been so long I went gray.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. Yeah, I've got more gray and more bald, so I mean, I'm with you. A couple weeks ago, I got into a mood and I just quit shaving my head just to see what that would look like. And that I got to the fourth day, I'm like, I can't do this. I can't do this. You want to talk about the whole skullet thing? Straight up. Straight up. If I was to let it grow out, long too, I would look exactly like Hulk Hogan. There's just no shitting about it. I was like, nope, I can't do this. I can't do it. But be that as it may, obviously we're not going to talk about what you and I discussed off air here. So aside from all that, it's great to see you. How are things?
Not too shabby, actually, and I'm going to thank the medication for that. Actually, the medication's for anxiety. So I'm less anxious about everything, and it's really good. It's really good not to have that staring at me all the time. So yeah, for the most part, I've been really good. Busy. Oh my God, so busy.
For real.
I'm looking forward to the fact we have a 4-day weekend. I'm really, really looking forward to that.
I forgot about it until last night because I was feeling pretty shitty about a lot of things last night, and then it clicks. I'm like, oh, this is Easter weekend. See, last year it was so late in April.
Yeah.
And the only reason why I remember it because I was at WrestleMania on Easter Sunday.
Yep.
And that has never been a thing before. And it was at the end of April.
Yeah.
So I got to work, and I don't know, all of a sudden it just clicked. I was like, oh my God, I've only got four days to deal with this bullshit this week.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome. Couldn't come at a better time too. But and then we gotta kind of navigate till we get to Memorial Day. We'll get a 3-day weekend there, and then it's kind of a stretch between that and the 4th of July, and then the 4th of July to Labor Day. Then we're fucked until Thanksgiving. So
Yeah.
we really have to really channel our time off intelligently, because where we work, we got the notification. It's straight up 6 days a week.
Yeah.
For the foreseeable future, and god damn it, like, I have all kinds of feelings about it, if I can be honest with you.
I'm not gonna lie. At first, I was like, "Oh, fuck this! I'm quitting." I was done, and then this Thursday will be 2 weeks that Roy and I were just kind of just waking up, and he says, "Before summer's over, you need a new vehicle." Okay. So he was like, "Why don't you look at right now and see what you can find?" So I'm scrolling the different dealerships in the area, and I'm like, "Oh." He's like, "I can be ready in 10 minutes. Let's go." Now, I was only going to look and test drive. I drove home in a Jeep.
No shit.
Yeah.
Really?
Not brand new, it's used. But, yep, drove home with heated seats.
A Jeep.
A Jeep.
Now let me ask you this. Where do you park at work? Just in a normal spot?
I park a little farther because I don't want no damage.
You have to.
Yeah.
Yeah, because them motherfuckers, like, they are... Jill, oh, god damn it, Jill. Listen, it would be too easy for us to sit here for an hour and have a catch-up episode, because those are a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Those are too fun.
Yeah.
But the day this show is supposed to drop is April 1st. It's April Fool's Day.
Yeah.
How can we not? You know what I mean?
Right.
No, oh my god. It would just be too easy. Because it sucks that you have to feel like you have to park further out so that your shit doesn't get damaged.
Yeah.
And look, if it was a Honda, if it was a Toyota, if it was some other foreign product, I understand that.
Mm-hmm.
But your Jeep was built by UAW workers.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the part that I have a fucking problem with. Granted, the ownership is based overseas, but it is still UAW workers that assembled that vehicle. Let's calm the fuck down.
Yeah.
Okay. Again, if it was a foreign-made product, made in Japan, made in China, made in Germany, made in wherever the fuck, I get it. You run the risk of damage to your vehicle if you so choose to drive it into a UAW parking lot. I understand that.
Yeah.
It sucks. It sucks because we as Americans should have the right to purchase whatever vehicle we want and not have to worry about people fucking with it. But as you know, and anybody that is involved with the UAW or the automotive industry, you know there is a great deal of tribalism that goes on.
Yeah.
That's just the way, especially in this day and age when the political and national inner workings are in just such upheaval. Like, it is just such a toxic environment right now.
Yeah.
So, but that does suck. Now, I will say, so happy for you that you got
She's so pretty.
A newer vehicle. What color is it?
Black on black.
Oh shit! I knew you.
And it's a trail hawk.
Okay.
So all the there's little symbols on the front, and I'm gonna just say this right now. I don't want a single fucking duck.
Okay, thank you. Because that was going to be my next question. Do you get into the duck phase? Are you expected to get into the duck phase? 1, 2, and forgive my ignorance. I could Google it, I guess. I just don't have that kind of time, and I don't really care that deeply about it. But can you explain? Do you know what the situation is with the ducks and the Jeep? Because to me, it makes as much sense of putting those two entities together as what our dumbass co-host said on the Tuesday show last week. Eric, love him, but goddamn it, sometimes he says the dumbest shit. This motherfucker is putting sour cream on cereal. So explain to me what's up with the ducks and the Jeep. Do you know?
Okay, first of all, when I'm done, you're gonna have to explain the sour cream on cereal because
that's all I got. The motherfucker
what
just
kind of
dropped
cereal?
that on us on Tuesday night live on the air, and I'm like, what am I supposed to do with this, you sick bastard? Like, that is the sickest thing I've ever fucking heard. Now I feel like, and I'm hoping he said that to just push the buttons, but I feel like there's something to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, if you want a crazy food combination, my grandpa, my mom's dad, used to put ketchup on his apple pie.
Why?
I don't know.
Why the fuck would you do that?
I have no idea. But my mom, my grandfather died a year before I was born. So I never met him. But I remember both my brothers telling me at some point that, yes, he would put...
I can't even.
No, I can't either.
That's that's right up there with the sour cream. I look at it as a thing of sour cream on the top of a bowl of Frosted Flakes. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Why would you do that? Why would you do that? You sick bastard. What happened in your life
Who hurt
that
you?
would trigger that kind of thought process?
I don't know. That's pretty gross if that's true. I couldn't do it. But maybe sour cream, no. I was gonna say maybe like the strawberry cream cheese or something. That would be okay. But not sour cream. That's just
sour cream on anything is gross. You want to know the only thing that I tolerate sour cream on? This is my weird food thing for the week. I can do sour cream and cheddar Ruffles potato chips, but that's it. Don't put them on my fucking Mexican food. Don't put them in, if it's made with sour cream, I am not interested. I just got used to the concept of cream cheese for frostings and shit like this. Samantha makes that. She makes a cream cheese frosting on a fucking awesome, the most awesome banana cake I have ever tasted. Comes from her head and her hands. But I hated cream cheese for the longest time. I had my first bagel last week. I'm 49 years old. Next week I'll be 50 years old. I had my first bagel ever. But not with cream cheese, because that's how much it freaks me the fuck out. Isn't that weird? Isn't that fucking weird? I'm a weird dude. I'm weird about my food. Weird about my food.
Yeah, it makes sense. When I was in the paint shop, there was one of the contractors that if it was something that had eggs as an ingredient, he wouldn't eat it.
My uncle was like that. Chicken embryos is what he would call them.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm not eating baby chickens. I'm like, they're not chickens.
No.
Calm the fuck down.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. People are
But
funny about their food. And
I know.
I'm not shitting on them. I'm not. Everybody's got their thing. I don't like cheese. Like, do not give me a cheeseburger. I don't want a cheeseburger. I don't like American cheese. I can eat mozzarella cheese. I can eat Parmesan cheese. I can put Colby Jack cheese on my salads and things of that nature. My wraps, my chicken wraps. I make good chicken wrap. But as far as like cheeseburgers and shit, fuck no. Don't even. Don't even. Yeah, I don't know. It's just weird.
I did go through a phase where I did not care for, if it's melted, I could do American cheese. But it has to be like full on melted. I can't on a cold sandwich put, nope, that's gross. That's gross.
I feel you. I feel you.
Yeah.
All right, listen. Like I said, we could sit here for a fucking hour and a half and just play catch up here because, well, number one, Jill and I are friends. Like we're real friends. We're not just colleagues on this. I've known Jill for fucking the better part of a decade at this point. Isn't that crazy when you put it in that perspective?
Yeah.
So it would be too easy, you know. She's invested in what I'm doing, and vice versa. And with that, Jill, you know, in the time that we have been off the air for this particular show, I know you and Judy are still doing creepy soup and everything. But it comes across my radar. You were also involved in a pretty important extracurricular event. You want to bring people up to speed as to what you've been working on?
Yeah. So a friend of mine that he's actually how I met a lot of my good paranormal friends, was through his Patreon. And I know I've talked about the Patreon people I know on here before, and I know I've done it on Creepy Soup, but we've never really like name dropped or anything. But Steve Shippey, who he's a rapper. He hasn't done that in a long time. The paranormal kind of took over. He was Prozac, known as the Hitchcock of hip hop. Kind of like
tagline. I dig it.
Yeah. But then he got involved in, you know, doing the paranormal, Seekers Paranormal, Haunted Saginaw. And over the course of the last 6 years, well, 5.5-ish, 6, and it started because he was investigating a place that my dad had worked and loved being there. So he investigated.
That was the theater, correct?
Yes. Yeah. And like the very first episode, he's talking about a tall, thin figure up by the projection booth. My dad was tall, thin, and he was the projectionist. So I sent him a message. Like, I had met him at the different Haunted Saginaw events, but just like as a meet and greet type thing. So I sent him a message. I'm like, look, I'm not... Take it for what it is. I told him who I was, why this was important. I gave him background information that I knew on the theater from that time, like the owner and different things like that. And he gets back with me and he was like, I got my historian coming in the next couple weeks. Let me go through and basically I want to see if some of your details match up with what he tells me. So later the night after the historian leaves, he sends me a message. He was like, are you busy tomorrow? Well, it was a Saturday. We had to work, but I'm like, until I'll be in town by 1. And he was like, cool, meet me at the theater at 1:30. And that kind of started a friendship that just, you know, over the last 6 years has, like, you know, I do consider Steve a good friend. So, the beginning of this month, he announced publicly that he has cancer. And his diagnosis came when he was between insurances. Yeah, so you know how sometimes, like, a new insurance says, oh, you have this pre-existing condition. We're not paying for shit. So, and anyone who's dealt with cancer knows cancer treatments are very expensive. He can't work. And really, the hunt at Saginaw has become a family thing. So if he's not working, the family's really not. I mean, they have side jobs, obviously, but so he had a GoFundMe, and my first thought was, I've got to help. This is my friend Steve. So I get a hold of Christy, the owner of Oh My Stars and Stones, and we decide we are going to do a fundraiser. And then we got to figure out how we're going to do this fundraiser. A little bake sale is not going to do. I don't have the time to bake like that, like I would like to. So we had decided we were going to go to small businesses, local businesses, and ask for donations for us to raffle off. And so far, I would say 99% of the places we have went they've done so with no hesitation. And so we have a lot of things to raffle off on Saturday, April 25th. The event is going to take place at Oh My Stars and Stones. So this is a fundraiser to help offset some costs for Steve Shippey and his family. And most people in the Saginaw area know Steve from, like, his premieres at the Temple Theater. He briefly had a museum here in Saginaw. It was run in a former funeral home. Pretty on brand. So most people know him, and he is a really great guy, generous guy. So many people are just like, at one point we went to this one spot and said we're doing a fundraiser for Steve Shippey, and the guy had opened up his drawer and already pulled out his gift certificate booklet and wrote out gift certificates, and that was actually it's on that list right there, Sis and Bros Tacos. So they gave gift certificates. There's a couple of big prizes. Jason Tiedemann, that works with Jason and I at our lovely day jobs, or night jobs in your case.
We call them shoot jobs, Jill.
Yeah.
In the wrestling business, that's, when you say something is a shoot, that is real life.
Okay. Yeah.
I guess educated you. You're welcome.
Thanks. Appreciate it. You can see, you do learn something new every day. I've heard you say that 100 times, but never
knew what the fuck I was talking
no.
about. That's funny.
But Jason Tiedemann does the charter fishing boat thing, and he has donated an 8-hour fishing trip for 2 people. Josh Hurd, who is also a friend of Steve, and that's kind of how I got his donation, was a week ago on Monday. He was doing a live on YouTube to raise money, and I kind of got into the live chat and said, I'm also hosting a fundraiser, and he said, cool, send me a message on Facebook. So I sent him a message on Facebook, and he donated an overnight investigation to his very, very haunted location. It is in Iowa.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, it's in Iowa. But I asked him, I'm like, what's the expiration date going to be? He was like, the winner of this investigation, there is no expiration date. If they can't make it here for 2 years, we'll see them in 2 years. So it's something that, you don't have to use right away. But it's an overnight investigation for up to 4 people.
In Iowa.
In Iowa. Which, I mean, it's a 12-hour drive.
Yeah, but you could fly there for a couple, in a couple of hours. I don't know, man. Like that's. Please continue, and then I will bring my It's too easy for me to just start talking, but please continue. I'll shut up.
And there's, if you've looked at the list, or go back, pause, and look at it. There's restaurant gift cards. There's gift baskets from the antique warehouse. They have a little store in there called the Loft, and it's not antique stuff. It's like handmade things. There is two people from Steve's Patreon that's on the list. Dave Rothy and Karen Lieberman that donated. One is called a sea bag. I had to look that up. I didn't know what they were. They're like duffel bags, big duffel bags. And then Karen Lieberman made a Halloween themed quilt and sent it to Christy's shop. Beautiful work. Beautiful, beautiful work. Christy does classes at her shop. She is donating a person to take 2 classes. I do Reiki healing. I'm raffling off 2 sessions. It is, and we are still out. There's that list. We are still out collecting donations, things like that. I gotta order some Creepy Soup merch because, my name is on the flyer, so as Creepy Soup. So
yeah, I'm gonna talk to you about that here in just a second. But if I could take just a moment for those who don't have the benefit of watching this, if on the RSS feed, if you're not watching this on Spotify, which is if you want to watch the video presentation, Spotify is the exclusive place to see that. YouTube as well, but most people go to Spotify. But I've left this graphic up on the screen, and I realize that my entire screen is being shared right now, because I didn't see this particular graphic until just now. But I want to take a moment, and if you are watching this, please take a moment to look at the screen and just look at a sample of the people, the companies, the organizations, the businesses that are donating to this very special cause. Computer Pro and Tony's on Gracious, Stardust, Old Town Distillery, Erica's Flowers, Mooney's. I'm skipping. I'm not nailing every one of them, and right. I realize that. But the one that really jumped out, it was the first one that my eyes locked on. Sean Grugel is donating, because Sean and Santa are pretty tight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he's arranging a virtual visit with Santa Claus. And I think that's just so fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Because, Sean has worked with us for a long, long time here at the PFC Network. And you and him have that common bond with the paranormal. So for him to step in and make a donation like that really warmed my heart when I saw that.
Yeah.
Under the Rainbow, Jenny McKinney, Mary Beth from Bella Capelli, the hair products. You look on this list and it's like, man, these are people that get it. They really are putting their efforts into such a wonderful cause. And, Jill, the original flyer, and I will pull that up here in just a second. But I do notice on here that Creepy Soup is scheduled to do some sort of recording on here. Is that what's happening?
I don't know if we're doing a recording.
Okay.
I don't. Judy's not sure if she can get that day off. If it is possible, I definitely would like to. I would at least like to go live from the Facebook page, especially when we're pulling some of the raffle tickets.
No, please. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're good. Just, I mean, if she can get the day off, and if it's possible, we would like to do something. But with Judy's work, she wasn't sure if she would be able to be fully invested in helping with the fundraiser. That is why I'm the only one named. And we did talk about it, and I said, if you can't do it fully, I won't use Creepy Soup. She was like, no, by all means use Creepy Soup, because I stand behind it 100%. And she has given me ideas of places to go, but with her timing, she's not able to physically go out and grab donations. So, there's fully supports the fact that it's under the Creepy Soup name. So.
Okay, so, and I realize we're half an hour into the show. We will get to April Fool's Day, I promise you, but this is important. This is Saturday, April the 25th.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
And it's being held at My Stars and Stones?
Yep, Oh My Stars and Stones.
Oh My Stars and Stones. Let me tell you, I just looked at my calendar.
Mm-hmm.
And as things stand right now, I don't have anything going on that day. I don't have anything put in my calendar on that day.
Okay.
So what I'm proposing is I will bring my equipment, my shit out to you on this day, and we will broadcast live under Creepy Soup or PFC Network or whatever you feel is most appropriate. I will bring my equipment out and we will broadcast live from this event, because I feel like this is very important, and I feel like this has to have this needs emphasis on it. Mm-hmm. And if there's something that I can do to bring more eyeballs to what you're doing,
okay,
and I'm here for it.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that very, very much.
And obviously it'll make shit flow a little bit easier, because Creepy Soup is distributed on the PFC network. Mm-hmm. So if the PFC network is the one actually broadcasting live while we're there, it's just going to make things a lot. I mean, we'll still do it under the Creepy Soup banner, but like my shit will be there. We'll be able to do it live, and we'll be able to redistribute that on the RSS feed and still get that information out there for folks who may want to contribute to this fundraiser. So I'm 100% on board.
Thank you. I appreciate that. That would be awesome.
Just make sure that they have Wi-Fi that we can tie it to. That's the only thing that...
Yeah, she does.
Then we're fucking golden.
You know what? And I hope it happens while we're there, because Christy, and I don't want to say it because if anyone's listening at home or on a speaker and they have it, the Amazon thing that will give you information, set timers for you in the kitchen, starts with an A. She argues with hers, and it is hilarious because her Alexa argues back. It's hilarious. It's hilarious. So hopefully someone gets to see that while we're there.
Well, listen, like I said, as of things stand right now, and I'm going to make sure that there's nothing else planned with my better half. I don't think that there is, because it would be in my calendar here. But I believe in this because you believe in this, and you're not somebody that just ties their name to anything, mm-hmm. unless it's something important or significant. So count me in, count the network in. Let's fucking do this. We will broadcast. And look, if I'm just there as the producer to push the buttons and get everything rolling and get you guys on air, that's cool. But if Judy isn't able to be there, at least you know you have a plan B in place.
Yeah.
So go ahead and start promoting this shit. Whether it doesn't matter what you want to talk about, I'm there for it. So
Okay.
let's do it.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Awesome. I love it.
All right. Now we're 35 minutes into this motherfucker.
I know. I'm so sorry.
No, don't be, because this, like I said, man, like this is important. And who knows? Like, yes, this is April Fool's Day, as people are listening to this on the RSS feed. It is Wednesday, but at the same time, it's like, that's why we do podcasts. That's what podcasts are for, is to shed the light on something that's this important. So one more time, Joe, give us the rundown, the date, the time, the location, so people can start putting this shit in their calendars.
It is, Saturday, April 25th. And I don't know what times yet. I don't know if it's going to be for the whole day while the shop is open. I don't think that has been decided yet. But it's at Oh My Stars and Stones at 3923 Bay Road in Saginaw. And there are so many, if you were able to see the list. If not, it is up on the Creepy Suit page. It's on the Crystals and Sage page, and it's also on the Paranormal page. Nope. Crystals and Sage and Oh My Stars and Stones. And I have posted it. Christy has posted it to her personal page. And raffle tickets, buy them now. You can get them now. Get a hold of either Christy or I. You don't even have to be in Saginaw or even in the state to buy them. I'll fill out your information for you, and if it's something you've won, we'll mail it to you at our cost.
Well, I am currently copying and posting this to the PFC page, so that will be on there April the 25th, and we're going to make a live appearance there, so go ahead and just start counting on that.
Okay.
I'm going to make my arrangements as necessary, and just get back with me with the exact time. Set up doesn't take too terribly long, but like, hey, if you're investing in this, I'm investing in this. So let's make this as successful as we possibly can. April the 25th, and we'll have all of the information on all of our socials under the PFC network, so be sure to check that out. All right, are you ready to tackle April 1st in the 1980s?
Yes.
All right, my dear. April Fool's Day. Now, before we get into the 1980s part of this, let me ask you this personally. Is April Fool's Day a day that you embrace? Do you plan pranks on people? Because for some people, this is a goddamn holiday, if we can be out. Like, they circle this date on their calendar, and they pull out all the stops to rib their friends, their family, their neighbors, their what have you. April Fool's Day, has that been a thing for you in your life? Do you pull pranks on April Fool's Day?
I mean, when my oldest brother and I were younger, we would do something to get our mom. But she caught on after a while. And like, there may have been a few that I pulled on Roy, but honestly, normally I don't really put in effort.
I'm very careful about April Fool's Day, because it would be, the way my brain is wired, it would be too easy to just completely fuck a person's day up. Mm-hmm. But like, I'm enjoying it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At the same time, I don't want that revisited. So I'm very calculated about how I go about April Fool's Day. I may pull a a rib, as we would say in the wrestling business, a minor joke or something like that. Just enough to, not completely humiliate them, but just let them know I could have had you. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? I could have made your life pretty fucking miserable
Yeah.
for about 15 minutes. But at the same time, I I have this kind of like a low-key respect for April Fool's Day for that very reason, because I don't want people fucking with me. Now, I've had some pretty dirty pranks pulled on me
Mm-hmm.
on April Fool's Day where people have told me this one thing or another, and like I bought into it only to find out it was an April Fool's joke.
Mm-hmm.
And when you start fucking with people's emotions, like in real life,
Yeah.
like that's where you kind of cross the line. Like I'm all about having fun and all that stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and I love the organic reasoning for April Fool's Day. But man, some people just take it too goddamn far.
Yeah.
It's. I understand you're trying to be funny, but God bless America. Can we dial it back a little? I mean, think about how you would feel about it if you
Yeah.
were on the receiving end. And people don't do that, Jill. They just want that pop, that pop
Yeah.
among their buddies, among their clique. Social media is now a thing, so they're trying to get that 15 minutes of viral fame, but it's at the expense of other people. So I have a love-hate relationship with the whole April Fool's Day,
Yeah.
first April 1st. So
Yeah.
how do you feel about it?
I like you said, I feel, first of all, um, pregnancy April Fool's jokes, I don't find funny at
No,
all.
no.
No, it's awful. I think it's terrible. Um, yeah, that one I don't appreciate anybody doing it. Like, no, don't do those. Those are bad. Um,
Bad.
don't go to your spouse or your significant other and do this big breakup thing either. That's wrong.
That one I've had done on me. And
Have
then the
you?
real thing followed suit the next week, so it's like, what? You literally were testing the waters to see how I would react. And
Yeah.
because I didn't go full-blown psycho, you just, yeah. That, that one, anybody that does a fake breakup like that, like just for a viral moment or something, you're an asshole.
Yeah.
If I can be honest with you.
I mean, if you want to do an April Fool's Day prank, look, if you want to, I mean, don't damage anybody's vehicle, but if you want to, don't duck it either. God, don't duck it. But if you want to,
Saran wrap it.
saran wrap it, put a fake parking ticket on it, whatever. Something that's not a lot of cleanup, something that's not gonna,
Damage.
yeah.
Product. Yeah.
But just a couple of years ago for April Fools, because I do, I was on the receiving end of this one. I thought it was hilarious. And I don't think my neighbor realized I had a Ring camera.
Okay.
And she had saved Amazon boxes and filled my porch.
That's fun.
That was fun. I loved it. Roy was pissed.
Was he?
I'm
Why?
like,
Because he had to clean it up?
no, I ended up cleaning it up. I'm like, the prank was
What's
pulled.
he pissed about?
I don't know.
Probably because it was embarrassing to look at if anybody wants to see that. But as a man, like, we want our house to be presented in a certain way. We want it to be received in a certain way. And if there's
Probably.
a shit ton of Amazon boxes out there, I could see where he could be a little bit annoyed by that.
Yeah.
Because it's a perception thing. As men, we want our property to be respectable. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? We don't want to be looked at as fucktards. I mean, that's just what it comes down to.
But yeah, no, I cleaned it up, and you know, texted my neighbor. I'm like, "Thank you," and she's like, "What?" Playing innocent. I'm like, "Do you forget I have cameras?" I wasn't
That's
mad.
good.
I thought it was hilarious.
That is-
That I would say that was the last one that was pulled on me, and that was a couple of years ago, maybe 3 now. I don't know. I thought it was funny.
Now, when I think of April 1st, and I think of April Fool's Day, my thought process goes to a completely different avenue. And then we'll get into what happened on this day in the 80s. Number one, it was my mom's best friend's birthday. And I remember that. Her name is Pam Ross. Bless her heart, just one of the sweetest souls walking God's green earth. And I'm saying this in a way to where Riverside is going to isolate this clip. I'm going to send this to her.
Okay.
Her name is Pam Ross, and she was my mom's best friend. They met at the post office in Lapeer, and her boys were very close in age to Jeff and I. So every once in a while we would get together and hang out for the day while the parents hung out because they were good friends. And Pam was the sweetest lady there ever was. Just a heart of gold. But I always remembered that her birthday was April 1st, April Fool's Day, because she had what my mom would describe as quote unquote shit luck back in the day. And of course she would, because she was born on April Fool's Day. And I'm like, how can that be a thing? With somebody that's so sweet and so nice and so caring. Like, she was so awesome, Jill. Her energy, her aura, like, she was just such a great person. And even when my mom died, and I hadn't heard from Pam in fucking 20 years, she reached out to me and Jeff in individual messages to express her condolences when she remembered that my mom had passed. When I hear April Fool's Day, I think of my mom's best friend, number one. Number two, I think of... So sorry, but it is what it is. WrestleMania has happened a couple times on April Fool's Day, and the first one that happened on April Fool's Day was 1990, so not necessarily 80s related, but the fucking Ultimate Warrior beat Hulk Hogan to win the WWF title at WrestleMania 6, and I incorporate April 1 into that date, and it fucked that date for the longest time until 2001. WrestleMania 17 happens, and Steve Austin beats The Rock to win the WWF Championship. So it came back around for me on that aspect. Listen, I know I'm weird. I know that. But that's how I keep shit on track. It is the way it is. I am the way I am. Take me or leave me, love me or hate me. This is just the way I am. Sorry. So sorry.
That's funny.
Yeah, I'm weird. It's okay, though. I'm okay with it. All right.
Weird is good. There's nothing wrong with that.
No, unique, right?
Yeah.
Just, you know, they could write a whole book about me. Actually, I think they've started. But be that as it may. Let's look at birthdays that happened on April the 1st of people that were prominent in the 1980s. Actress Annette O'Toole.
Oh, yeah.
From 48 Hours. You're familiar, yes?
Yes.
Born in 1952. English keyboardist for the band Vice Versa. Mark White. Have you heard of this band, Vice Versa?
No.
Me neither. I'm confused. And then basketball player Mark Jackson. would also go on to become a coach, was born in 1965. Mark Jackson was the 18th overall pick in the 1987 NBA draft by the New York Knicks. We'll get to more sports headlines later on in the program here. They have headlines here, Jill, but a lot of it tackles the categories that we're going to be touching on. We already touched on the birthdays, but I do want to make mention of another notable birthday that happened on April the 1st. This one goes back to 1932. Actress Debbie Reynolds was born on this day, known for playing Kathy Selden in the 1952 film Singing in the Rain. Passed away from age 84 from a stroke, unfortunately.
Wasn't it like a day or two after Carrie Fisher?
Yes, it was.
Very soon after her daughter. Very
isn't
soon.
that weird?
Yes.
Just, as a sidebar, you look at instances like that, and that's not a very public, these are Hollywood movie stars we're talking about, Debbie Reynolds and Carrie Fisher.
Mm-hmm.
But there is a very real thing of dying from a broken heart. You know what I mean? And I feel like that played a hand in the timing, in the passings between Debbie Reynolds and her daughter, Carrie Fisher.
Yeah.
Because that is a very real thing, man. We hear about it all the time.
Yeah.
At least I do. It comes across my radar on different posts, websites and shit that I follow.
Yeah.
Very, very sad thing. Now, two prominent people passed away on this day. People that will resonate with us, even though their heyday may have been technically in different decades. One being the 70s, the other one more or less in the 90s, especially the early 90s. I bring up the name Marvin Gaye to you, Jill, and singer, songwriter from the Motown record label, garnered a lot of headlines. Obviously while he was here for his success and controversy with some of the songs that he put out, but passed away on this day in 1984, just a day shy of his birthday. Now, if you can imagine, this man was shot and murdered
by his
father. And you just think, you're a parent, I'm a parent, most of the people listening or watching are parents. Can you honestly sit here and think about administering the ultimate form of pain and to shoot your own son, to shoot him dead? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? To the wiring in your brain is of such where you justified that in your head that it was okay to shoot and murder your own son. I have a son. I have a daughter. And these children, these kids, are everything to me. I could not imagine, even when they were babies and they were very difficult, there's no way I could ever imagine administering any kind of harm. Like, I never even spanked my kids, if I could be honest with you. I couldn't imagine administering that kind of harm to your child, but that's what happened to Marvin Gaye here in 1984. Just a tragic situation.
Yeah, look, my kids are my biggest source of joy and sometimes my biggest source of pain.
Parenthood.
Exactly. That's parenthood. That's what you fucking sign up for when you decide
You're
have.
not pulling out. I'll fucking say it. It's you roll the dice, Jill.
Yeah.
You roll the dice.
Right.
You don't pull out. You're playing with fire, man.
And you win a
Eventually
hump
you're
trophy.
gonna get
And you win a hump.
trophy,
Yeah.
which is a fun shirt over at PFC Creepy. Prettified.me. Shout out to you, Judy.
Yeah.
Sidebar, I think Judy hates me.
Why?
I don't know. I just feel like she does.
No.
She doesn't reply to any of my messages that I send her.
Same.
And it's business related. You know what I just think she hates me.
No, she don't hate you. She don't reply to mine either.
Something that offended her.
No. Not at all. Because I asked her, I said, when you sent me the shirt, and I love it, by the way. I love it. I have to get one. I have to fucking get one. I said,
trophy one?
No, the one with her and I, the recent one you sent. Her and I, like, as
all zombied out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I said, did you see it? She was like, no. I'm like, oh. So did you send it to her?
No, fuck
Oh.
her.
So I showed it to her, and my response, remember, I love that. Her response is, she did a step further. I fucking love that.
Just acknowledge me. That's all I ask.
Right. All right, I'll get into her shit.
Yeah, I'm going to get into her shit right now because I know you're going to pull this up. Actually, I think Riverside is going to isolate this as a clip. I'm uploading this to TikTok.
Okay. Just
know it's coming to TikTok. So yeah, Marvin Gaye though. Back on track, being more serious here. Just a goddamn tragedy. Like I remember when this happened because this really bummed my mom out. Mm-hmm. My mom loved Motown. You know what I mean? And I remember her being genuinely upset about this happening. And it wasn't until like a year later that I came across the fact that it was indeed his father that murdered him. And I was just like, God damn, even at that age.
Yeah.
You know, in 1985, I was 9 years old. And it's just like, what the fuck? What the fuck goes on in your head where you justify taking your child's life? You know what I mean?
It's
so terrible.
That's something I don't understand. Have I pictured myself doing the Homer Simpson to Bart thing a few times? Absolutely.
No.
But no, I don't understand how a parent could. I mean, I guess understand the thought, but to carry it out, that's something, man. That's a whole different breed.
Yeah. 100%. That is just terrible. Mm-hmm. Terrible. Because what would he have put out musically?
Right.
In the 1980s? Because I feel like Marvin Gaye is one of those guys that was a little bit ahead of his time. Mm-hmm. If I can be honest with you. His content that got him so much negative attention, sexual healing, if that had come out in the mid-'80s, people would have a different perception of that song.
Yes.
But they fucking crucified him for recording that. Mm-hmm. And if you really took the time to actually listen to what he's talking about and not just go on the title of the song, like his star would have blown up three times the size that it was. Yeah. And what sucks is that people, when they think of the name Marvin Gaye, they go to the fact that what his last day was instead of what he had done musically. Yeah. That's the sad part for me. You know.
And what I'm going to say about this is, you know, there's things that you remember literally where you were and what you were doing.
Yeah.
And that is one of those, because I remember it was like my mom, my dad, my godparents, and a friend of theirs. It was Girl Scout cookie delivery day. And my mom was like the service unit director, so there was truckloads of cookies, and we were unloading boxes of cookies when that news broke.
I remember hearing it on ABC World News Tonight with Peter Jennings. That's how I remember. Peter Jennings was as much a part of our evening routine as dinner time. Like my parents, my mom would make dinner, and we were that family that turned the news on during dinner time. And we would listen to what my parents were ABC people. You know, Peter Jennings. You know, he had a present. Look, all three networks had their guy.
Yeah.
You know, for ABC, and I don't know why people choose a specific network over the other. It's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
But we're talking about the 1980s, where it was Dan Rather for CBS, Peter Jennings for ABC, and Tom Brokaw for NBC. That's how you got your news.
Yep.
You know what I mean? In the 1980s. And I remember them listening to this report on Marvin Gaye, and because it was Peter Jennings who they held in such high regard, you know, he was the one broadcasting this news. They took every single word to heart, like this is legitimate. And we don't have that anymore.
No.
You know what I mean? And that's what sucks. I have a lot of respect for the main anchors for the 6:30 p.m. national news broadcast, but they will never ever be held in the same regard as Peter Jennings, Dan Rather, and Tom Brokaw. That will never be a thing anymore. Would you agree with that or no?
I agree, yeah. I can't tell you the last time I watched network news.
No? I try to steer clear of the news nowadays, if I can be honest with you.
Same.
You know, but every once in a while, like, I've got to get caught up on what's happening. I have to. I have to know what's happening in the world.
Yeah.
And I will take the time to spend a little bit of time with, like, a CNN, and then MSNBC, and then Fox. So I'm getting it across all three. I hit my microphone. I'm getting it across all three standpoints. You know what I mean? Liberal, conservative, and independent. You know, that's kind of what it boils down to. Just so I'm in the loop of what's happening. Because, I mean, if Iran is sending a bomb over here, like, I kind of want to know that. So I can plan accordingly. You know what I mean? Be that a minute. Let's get back to April 1st in the 1980s. Back to when it was a simpler time. All right. Let's look at, we looked at birthdays. We looked at, deaths. This last one here, as far as people who passed away in the that were prominent to us in the 1980s. Last year on this day, Val Kilmer, we lost Val Kilmer. Iceman from Top Gun. As far as 80s, he was in the movie Top Secret. Like, he made his name in the 1980s. But for me personally, it was 1993. He came out as Batman in Batman Forever. And then later in the year, he was Doc Holliday in Tombstone. I will go back. He wasn't a great Batman. Make no mistake about it. At least in my opinion. But Doc Holliday. Val Kilmer as Doc Holliday is one of the most iconic roles played by an actor in the history of Hollywood, in my view. Would you agree with that or no? You know, you've never seen Tombstone, have you?
No.
Jill Bayn! Jill Bayn, you have homework. Do you not like Westerns?
It depends. I mean,
Oh, do you like Kurt Russell?
yeah.
Val Kilmer? I mean, I get it. You can take him or leave him. But I'm telling you, this is the role that made him who he is.
Okay.
I know you've seen GIFs. I know you've seen memes.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have not sat down and watched the movie Tombstone, like, I'm not about Westerns. I don't give a fuck. I know this is a hot take, and people are going to crucify me, and I'm totally fine with it. I think John Wayne is one of the most overrated actors in the history of Hollywood. I appreciated him in The Alamo, but other than that, fuck right off.
It was pretty much the same.
Same thing, right? Different name, different location, but the storyline was the same. Kind of like a bad 80s porno. It was. Sorry, but it was. But Val Kilmer is what made Tombstone for me. Now, you're talking about a star-studded cast. Kurt Russell, Bill Paxton, Dana Delaney, well, the bitch from Titanic, Zane, Billy Zane.
Oh, he's
Billy
in
Bob
it?
Thornton. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Billy Bob Thornton. There's who's who at that time. And I hated Val Kilmer because he ruined me in Batman. He damn near ruined Batman for me. Jim Carrey saved it as the Riddler, but he damn near killed it for me. But he totally redeems himself as Doc Holliday, Jill, and I really think Roy would appreciate this film.
He's probably seen it.
Well, then, God damn it, why haven't you?
Because I was probably reading a fucking book when he watched it.
This is your homework. I'm going to give you 2 weeks.
Okay.
Find Tombstone, watch this motherfucker, and you will understand why this one role, Jill, elevated Val Kilmer 2 levels in Hollywood based on this one role because he was so fucking awesome at it. I promise you. And I couldn't stand him. I couldn't stand him as Batman. I couldn't stand him as Iceman. I couldn't stand him as the guy from Top Secret. I could not stand him.
I'm looking to see where it's streaming.
Stream it. If it's not, I've got the fucking DVD. I will meet up with you. I will give you the fucking DVD to watch because it is that good. He is that good. I'm your Huckleberry. That's all you need to say. And there's a generation of people that all you need to say is that line and they will know exactly who and what you're talking about. Val Kilmer as Doc Holliday in Tombstone. Absolutely.
Oh yeah, I'm looking at it. The cast is incredible.
Star-studded, right?
Yes. Yep. Okay, 2 weeks. I'll watch it.
Don't think we're not going to revisit this, and I'm going to ask you about it because it's that important to me. I don't like westerns, but I love Back to the Future 3, and I love Tombstone. Tombstone especially. God damn it, that's a good fucking movie. All right, let's look at the 80s movies that dropped on or were released on this day in the 1980s. We're going to start in 1980 with the Baltimore Bullet, starring James Coburn, Omar Sharif, Bruce Boxleitner, and Renee Blakely. I may have fucked up. I've
I've
never seen this movie. I can tell
I've
you
never
that.
heard of it.
I never have either. All right. Also, all right. 1983. Two of them were released. Heart Like a Wheel.
Oh my god, I love that movie.
I've never heard of this with Bonnie Bedelia and Bo Bridges.
Yes, she plays. Oh god, what the Shirley Muldowney, and he plays Connie Coletta. Yes, very good movie. It's based on a true story.
Bonnie Bedelia, I know as Holly McClane in the Die Hard movies, the first two Die Hard movies. That's the only thing I've ever seen her in. Now, let me tell you this. They had a budget of $7.5 million to make this movie. They brought in at the box office $272,000.
Yeah.
Complete flop.
It was a good movie. I think. Yeah. I don't. Roy and I have watched that one several times.
Okay.
It's a good movie.
All right.
That's your homework. Boom.
Well played, my dear. Well played. While you're doing nothing, why don't you look it up and see if it's streaming anywhere, and if it's something that I have, I'll check it out. Heart Like a Wheel. All right. Also in 1983, Screwballs. I have not heard of one actor in this movie. They had a budget of $1,800,000, but they somehow or another grossed $2 million at the box office. But I've not heard of this. Screwballs. Have you heard of this?
I feel like I have.
Clearly, it was it resonated. All right, 1986, Miracles, with Terry Garr, Paul Rodriguez, Christopher Lloyd, and Tom Conti. Christopher Lloyd we know as Doc Brown from the Back to the Future movies. Terry Garr, like, I know she was a bigger deal in the 80s. For me, her claim to fame...
Mr. Bob.
See, I wouldn't have said that. I would have said Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
I've never seen it.
But she wasn't Mr. Mom. And there was another one that came to mind right before you said that. No, I can't remember. But Close Encounters of the Third Kind. She's the bitch that wound up leaving Richard Dreyfuss in that movie. Because he know what he saw. Now, granted, he went completely off the rails in that movie. Making the big mud thing in the living room, and she wound up leaving him. She was his wife in that movie. And he winds up hooking up with Melinda Dillon, who we know later on as the mom from A Christmas Story. But I don't know, I know Terry Garr has had a respectable career in Hollywood, but those are the only two movies, Jill. Oh, was she in Kramer? No, that wasn't. That was Meryl Streep. Kramer versus Kramer.
Yeah.
But yeah, Mr. Mom and Close Encounters of the Third Kind are the two that come to mind with her.
Let's see. Young Frank is Tootsie.
Toya. I'll be honest, I don't think I've ever seen Tootsie. That's when Dustin Hoffman playing drag, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember the poster. I remember my parents watched or rented the DVD or the VHS. But I've never watched it. Tootsie, that we're talking about. Mr. Mom I've seen once because it had Michael Keaton in it. And I remember thinking back when he got cast as Batman, like, motherfucker, that's Mr. Mom.
Yeah.
How are you casting that dude as Batman? But then, too, he also had already done Beetlejuice. So I'm like, all right, I'm on board.
I'm still looking for Heart Like a Wheel.
Okay.
I'm not finding it anywhere.
Well, let me take us to 1988, where on this day, the movie Bright Lights, Big City was released. Now, this one I have on VHS.
Michael J. Fox.
Starred Michael J. Fox. Thank you, my dear. Also starred Kiefer Sutherland, Phoebe Cates, Diane Wiest, and Jason Robards. This was one of the two dramatic roles that Michael J. Fox attempted outside of the success he had on NBC with Family Ties and the movies with both Back to the Future and Teen Wolf. Mm-hmm. Now, this is in between Back to the Future 1 and 2, because Part 2 comes out in 89. We're talking about 1988 here. And Michael J. Fox is a drug-addicted, like, stockbroker. Mm-hmm. And Kiefer Sutherland is his friend, his roommate, his drug dealer. And to see Michael J. Fox in that kind of role fucked me up.
Yeah.
Because I'm used to him. He was my role model as a kid. Mm-hmm. 7, 8, 9 years old. Like, I wanted to be like Alex P. Keaton, the role he portrayed on Family Ties. Mm-hmm. Then Back to the Future came out. Then Teen Wolf came out. And I'm like, I am so invested in this fucking dude. Like, he is... I wanted to be an actor, Jill, because of Michael J. Fox. I styled my hair like him. I wore shirts and ties to school because Alex P. Keaton did. Like, it was on that level. And that's why I got picked on, and I realized I got picked on, but at the time, even at 8 years old, I did not give a fuck about what people thought about me. That has been a consistent thing in my life, if I can be honest with you. But Bright Lights, Big City, number one, have you seen this movie? And number two, do you understand the dynamic of why this movie resonates the way that it does?
I remember seeing it when it first came out, and I honestly have not watched it since. And it was one of those things where I was like, holy shit, this is not the Michael J. Fox I know. So right. I completely understand how it fucked you up.
Big time. Because, again, Alex P. Keaton, his character on Family Ties, family, wholesome, NBC, primetime sitcom, mm-hmm. versus Bright Lights, Big City. Still dressed the same. He looks like Alex P. Keaton. He's wearing the suit. But to see him like doing drugs and shit, drugs on screen, it's like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Now I saw this movie after I had seen Light of Day mm-hmm. with Joan he and Joan Jett. And I think that may be the first time he tried a dramatic role. Mm-hmm. And like that movie fucked me up because it was just so dark. You know what I mean? It was filmed very dark.
Yeah.
Bright Lights, Big City had that New York City Studio 54 drug scene very prominent in there. And Kiefer Sutherland. That's why I can't stand this motherfucker, dude. Because he's had some... He's a great actor. He really is. Like, I really, really respect him for what he's done. But every movie role that I have seen him in, the movies that resonate with me, he has been the antagonist. He's been the villain.
Yeah.
Stand By Me. And especially this one, because Michael J. Fox was held in such high regard. He was wholesome. He was America's son.
Yeah.
You know? And to see him in a role this controversial at that time fucked me up. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
Sorry, Joe. I know I'm going off sidebar after sidebar. I know you got to get ready for work. Well, blessed. Rest of these. This is why we don't drink while I do the show. All right. The other one here is The Seventh Sign. This was controversial because Demi Moore, America's sweetheart for the longest time, was cast in the starring role in this. Also included Peter Friedman and Jurgen Prentnow. I don't know. But this was a very controversial film for the time in 1988 because Demi Moore was that America's sweetheart. Her and Meg Ryan were very much America's sweethearts, and this was a very much a darker role for Demi Moore. And I think she did this because her husband at the time, Bruce Willis, was getting some positive reaction for more dramatic roles. Die Hard being one of them, obviously. But this was her attempt to broaden her horizons, to get out of that brat pack,
Stereotype.
envelope that she was under. Let's look at television in the 1980s. In 1983, Baby Makes Five premiered on ABC. Do you remember this show?
No.
Me neither. Well, that's why, because they had one season, 5 episodes, starring Peter Scolari, who we know from Booze and Buddies with Tom Hanks. The final episode of Hitman, the game show, aired on this day. Do you remember that show?
Nope.
That game show, The Hitman? Me neither. Another one called Just Men, another game show, aired its last episode on this day. I don't remember that one either.
No. What the fuck?
All right, 1984, LTV premiered on MTV, hosted by Weird Al Yankovic. Do you remember this?
Very briefly, yeah.
Yeah. Weird Al Yankovic, man, when you talk about icons of the 1980s, how can you not incorporate Weird Al Yankovic in that conversation?
You have to. You have to.
If you don't, fuck off. If you don't, you're not an 80s kid. Because this guy came out of fucking nowhere.
Nowhere.
He became such a sensation because of his parody. It was Michael Jackson and Madonna. Jill, how many episodes have we spent on any incarnation of an 80s nostalgia podcast on this network where we have dialed into the music industry came down in the 1980s, and if you don't agree with this, you're fucking wrong. We're talking about mainstream, globally recognized artist. It came down to Michael Jackson. It came down to Madonna. Weird Al Yankovic comes out of fucking nowhere and makes a mockery out of both these motherfuckers and became a star because of it. You know what I mean? Like, that would never happen in this day and age because people fucking suck and they don't like having fun.
Yeah.
Everything's got to be so fucking serious, so matter of fact. There is no wiggle room for fun in their lives. And that's why I maintain that the 80s were the greatest decade in the history of humanity. Because we got the prefaces of everything that is relevant nowadays. Video games, you're welcome. You're welcome for that. We started that. Movies, music, like, it had soul back when we were listening to it. It don't have soul nowadays because you've got a computer doing your music for you. In some cases, you've got an AI-generated fucking platform that makes your whole song.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck off. You don't count. Okay? Alright. In 1987, a TV show called Mariah debuted on NBC. No, I'm sorry, on ABC. Now, this is a year before Mariah Carey becomes prominent, so I don't know about Mariah on ABC. Do you?
No.
All right. Uh, Ro- Roxy debuts on CBS. It's a spin-off of Kate and Allie. Now, I liked Kate and Allie because Allie was portrayed by Jane Curtin.
Mm-hmm.
And I was a huge fan of Jane Curtin dating back to Saturday Night Live. And her and Susan St. James, who played the role of Kate in this show, they were adorable back in that day, back in that time. So I really appreciated Kate and Allie. Roxy was a spin-off. I do remember they making this show, but I also remember I didn't give a fuck about this show and didn't watch it. You?
No.
Moving on. Take 5 premiered on CBS. One season, 6 episodes. Didn't go fucking anywhere. George Segal was the star of that, and for those who do not know who George Segal is, and I don't even need notes to do this, in 1987 we got Spaceballs.
Mm-hmm.
He was the general in for Lord Helmet. He was his right-hand man in that movie, George Segal. Can't think of his name in the movie right this second because this episode has been unofficially brought to you by Jack Daniels.
And Death Wish coffee, I guess.
Listen, I've got Death Wish coffee. Samantha, bless her heart. I love her so much. She bought me a package of Death Wish coffee for a holiday or anniversary or something along those lines. And it's the whole bean. I gotta get a grinder to crush these whole. But bless her fucking heart, Jill. She saw Death Wish. She didn't know that there was whole bean and already ground, and she got it because she knows that's my favorite kind of coffee. So I've got to low key go get me a coffee grinder to ground these beans up, so she doesn't feel like she wasted her money, time, effort. You feel me?
Yep.
But Death Wish coffee is my favorite coffee.
Same.
Love me some coffee.
We need that.
You know what's fucking funny, Jill?
What?
Is we've known each other for the better part of a decade, and as connoisseurs as we are as coffee, we've never had coffee together. Isn't that fucking weird?
That is weird. We gotta make that happen.
We're gonna have to fix that.
Yeah.
To our significant others, it's not weird. We just love coffee and we enjoy each other's company. Fuck off. Final episode of Blackout, a game show, aired in 1988. No clue.
None.
1989, Mel Gibson hosted Saturday Night Live. I would imagine this is coming off his release of Lethal Weapon 2, which was released in the summer of 89. And then the final episode of She's the Sheriff. 2 seasons, 44 episodes, starring Suzanne Summers. Do you recall this?
I do, but I didn't watch it.
I don't even recall it. And I know I didn't watch it. Once she left Three's Company, it was over for me.
Yeah, I didn't watch it. I do remember seeing it. Yeah. But, no, I wasn't super crazy.
Let's run down by the music that was released on this day. Not the songs, but the music, the albums, the singles. You ready, Joe?
Yes.
1981, The Reckoning, a live album by the Grateful Dead, reached 43 on the Billboard charts. Were you a Grateful Dead fan?
No.
Overhyped, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe because I'm younger, based on when they came out. Now, they were there at Woodstock, which happened in 1969, you know what I mean? So
yeah.
I may not have been the targeted demo for the Grateful Dead.
Yeah.
While I respect them for their place in musical history, and especially for their marketing, or whoever's responsible for that, their merchandise and shit, I appreciate you. Jerry Garcia, bless your heart. I realized there were two other guys with you, but you were at the forefront.
Yeah.
So, be that as it may. 81, we got Rock Steady with Flo and Eddie, the sixth album from Flo and Eddie. You familiar? Did you have this as part of your collection?
Never heard of it.
Me neither. 82, we got Rhythm of Youth by Men Without Hats. This was their debut album. In 1984, Self Control by Laura Branigan, her third album, reached a high of 23 on the Billboard charts. 1986, the self-titled album, debut album of a band called Book of Love. No clue.
No.
But this band you have heard of released their debut album on this day in 1986. New Kids on the Block. Their self-titled debut album. Didn't give a fuck about them then. Didn't give a fuck about them with Hanging Tough. And actually teased my brother to no end about that. And then their follow-up after that fact, didn't give a fuck about that either.
No.
New Kids on the Block, Jill.
No.
Thank you. 1987, we got Solitude Standing by Suzanne Vega, her second album. No clue. You?
The only song I know by her is Luca.
Oh, is that her?
Yep.
Great. All right, 1989, we got two releases. Stuck in Wonderland by Drama Rama.
Never heard of them.
Me neither. And then City Streets by Carole King. Now, we've heard of Carole King, obviously.
Yeah.
But holy fuck, these other bands. You know, we sit here and praise the 1980s for a lot of the most iconic bands of all time. Guns N' Roses, AC/DC, Bon Jovi, we could go right on down the line. Def Leppard, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Bands like this that...
It brings the average down a little bit.
Doesn't it, though? The number of one-hit wonders just really sucks a lot of the 80s down a notch, and that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Truly unfortunate. I know you're not much into this, so I'm going to blast through the sports on this day in 1980s, because I love me some sports, you know this. 83, two things happened. Wayne Gretzky broke the single season assist record with 103. He broke Bobby Orr's record. This is one of the reasons why Wayne Gretzky is known as
The greatest.
the icon of professional hockey or the National Hockey League. And then Mike Boesel scored his 600th goal of the season. First player in NHL history with 3 consecutive 60-goal seasons. Now that's quite the accomplishment if you follow hockey. Nowadays, this time of year, Jill, March Madness is going on, the NCAA basketball tournament for men and women. So obviously this time of year garners a lot of headlines during these tournaments. These are a big damn deal. You mentioned, recently you went through the colonoscopy thing. Statistically speaking, this is the time of year where men will schedule more colonoscopies than any other part of the year so
Really?
that they can lay their busted ass on the couch and watch hours of basketball on the television without being picked on or condemned by their significant others.
So they're not doing that while doing the prep. I'm going to tell you that right now. That's it. Exactly.
So sorry to make light of that because it's not. Again, I got to do this, and I know I got to do this. Jill, I'm turning 50 years old next week. Can you believe that shit?
No.
Like, I am turning 50 fucking years old. And I know I've got, like, my doctor, bless his heart, he's been trying to get me to a colonoscopy for the last 3-4 years. And I just haven't done it. I'm scared to death.
Yeah.
I'm scared to death not for the test itself. I'm scared to death for the fucking prep.
Yeah, the prep is bad. Bad.
It just seems like a shitty deal.
I see what you did there.
Oh, look! I have another shot waiting for me. My girl got me these shot glasses for Christmas. I don't use them very often, but
We are this morning.
Special.
You had to get drunk to deal with me because we knew we were doing this morning.
No, I had to get drunk because I dealt with 9 hours of fuckery before I came to do something I actually enjoy doing. All right. What else is worth noting here? No. All right, I'll mention this. Oh, wow. Michigan, the University of Michigan, beat Seton Hall 80-79. 1 point, Joe, in the championship game to win the 1989 NCAA men's basketball championship. 1 point.
Wow.
Yeah. You don't get no closer to that. Other notable things that happened on this date, in April 1st, 1976, Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak, please forgive me if I butchered that name, I feel like I did, formed Apple Computer. The very first Apple computer was created on this day in 1976. And then in 1978, Space Invaders, one of the most iconic video games of all time, released in Japan.
I couldn't get past the second level as a kid, but oh my god, I love that game.
Great game, right? Iconic. Yeah. It was Space Invaders, it was Pac-Man, it was Donkey Kong. For us, those were the big three.
Yep.
Obviously, as time went on, arcades became more of a thing, so you got more of a variety of video games. Contra and Double Dragon and things of this nature. Now, Samantha and I just walked into round 1 this past weekend because we celebrated our second year together. We went to Great Lakes Crossing and we had dinner there at the hibachi place, Miyago's, I believe they're called there. Phenomenal food. Well, we ran through round 1 arcade and bowling alley. I have never been in this place, but holy fuck, what an upgrade to the arcade experience. Nothing like what we grew up with as a kid.
Really?
Crazy. The video games, are just, they're on a different level. Like, they have the classics.
Yeah.
Your Pac-Man, your Contra, your Double Dragon, your Space Invaders. But when you put them to what games nowadays, like The Walking Dead had a game there, Terminator had a game there, it's like, what the fuck are we doing right now? How did we survive on this when we got this to look forward to? You know what I mean? All right, that's going to bring us to our main event this week, Joe, and that is our #1 songs in America that happened on this day, April the 1st. every year in the 1980s. We start off with 1980, Another Brick in the Wall, Part 2 by Pink Floyd. Where you at on Pink Floyd?
I don't. Overhyped, I feel.
I understand that. I get that. 100%. I love Pink Floyd because of their, especially when you look at like 1974, when they came out in 74 and they were really getting some notoriety, how they were producing and presenting their music, it just had a different sound to it. Another Brick in the Wall, the movie, Another Brick in the Wall, or the Wall, was one of the creepiest things I've ever fucking seen. And I wish, low key, I had never watched that movie. Because it kind of fucked me up for their music. Because Pink Floyd presents a different type of music. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, they are after the acid trippers. They're after the pot smokers. They're after that mentally altered state of mind. Yeah. In their presentation. And I love it. I appreciate it. Dark Side of the Moon, in my view, one of the greatest albums ever recorded from start to finish. Love that movie. Especially when you pair it with The Wizard of Oz. Have you done this?
I haven't, but I have heard of people doing that.
You need to do this. You and Roy need to get fucked up. I don't care if it's alcohol induced. I don't care if it's marijuana induced. I need you guys to be in an alternative state of mind. And I need you to cue up Dark Side of the Moon. From the third time the lion roars in the MGM Open, you hit pause right after the lion roars for the third time. Get Dark Side of the Moon queued up. Get it to 0.00. Hit play at the first time. And Jill, I shit you not, the tempo, the mood, the everything about the song that you're hearing on that album corresponds with what you're watching on Wizard of Oz. It is fucking weird.
Yeah, I'd have to do it with someone else. Roy will not watch Wizard of Oz.
Oh, I'll do it with you. We'll do it as a goddamn watch-along.
Oh, that would be cool. That'd be a neat live.
We'll get you and Judy fucked up in one way or the other, and we will listen to Dark Side of the Moon and watch The Wizard of Oz. Everybody has to do that at least once.
Okay.
So I'll get it queued up. I'll get it situated. We'll record it. We'll do the whole 9 yards.
Okay.
And it will blow your motherfucking mind, because both entities, both the filmmakers for Wizard of Oz, which was filmed in 1931, released in 32, and then Dark Side of the Moon came out in 1978. We're talking 40 fucking years between the two.
Yeah.
And Roger Waters goes on record and says, I did not give a fuck about The Wizard of Oz when I recorded Dark Side of the Moon. Happy coincidence, but it's worth doing.
Okay.
And we will make that happen.
All right.
1981. Totally, I went on a complete sidebar. Sorry about that. 1981, Blondie with Rapture. 1982, I Love Rock and Roll by Joan Jett and the Blackhearts. Probably one of the iconic anthems of the 1980s. Would you agree?
Yes.
Yeah. Joan Jett was the 80s. She was the epitome of the 80s. God bless. She was fucking hot. And I was scared for my life because I knew without a shadow of a doubt she could kick my ass. 1983, Billie Jean by Michael Jackson from the Thriller album. 84, Footloose, Mr. 1980 soundtrack.
Kenny Loggins, yes.
Yes, ma'am. 1985, another pillar of the 1980s music scene. 1985, we got One More Night
Phil
by
Collins.
Phil Collins. Oh, Phil. God damn it. I saw a video of him this past weekend of a video that was shot 4 or 5 weeks ago, and God damn it, Joe, was that heartbreaking.
Yeah.
We're going to be talking about Phil posthumously sooner rather than later, and it breaks my heart.
Yeah.
I didn't have appreciation for him until after the fact. Because that movie he did,
Buster.
damn near overshadowed his musical contribution because it was that bad.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't see it. Dog
shit.
Yeah. But I love his music.
Again, I didn't appreciate him until later on in life. When We Can't Dance, that album released by Genesis, and I think it was 93 or 94.
Yeah,
Like, let me revisit Phil Collins. Susudio.
Now, real quick.
So good.
Real quick. I come up with nicknames for people. And there's a lady on my team, her name is Sue, and I've given her the nickname Sue Studio.
I can appreciate that.
Yeah.
Does she know where it comes from?
Yeah.
Okay.
She's older than I am. Yeah.
You know, Genesis as a band, as a whole, the original threesome,
Mm-hmm.
they came out with some bangers.
Yeah.
They really did. Phil Collins, though, once he broke off on his own, even though his dipping of the toe into the movie industry with Buster was a complete flop. It was a flop at the box office. It was a flop at the video rental establishments. I couldn't get past a half an hour of it. It just sucked bad.
I've never seen it.
If anybody thinks, well, it's because you don't like Phil Collins, no, that's not the case. Because there is a John Candy movie, I believe it's called Armed and Dangerous.
Oh.
I'm going to have to revisit that one, but the first time I watched that, I thought it was complete dog shit.
Same.
And
I didn't finish that one.
Candy.
I didn't finish it.
So to be put in that category, calm the fuck down, and just know that when I do judge something, it's on a pretty level playing field.
Yeah.
Okay. 84 was Footloose by Kenny Loggins. Number 85, One More Night by Phil Collins. 86, one of my personal favorites, Rock Me Amadeus.
I love that. You know, that song does not get enough love. I don't care what anybody says. It just doesn't.
Back in the 80s it did. It was the number one song from March the 28th until April the 3rd.
Okay.
April the 3rd. So, a couple of weeks on top as the number one song. Rock Me Amadeus. Love that song.
Me too.
Amadeus, rock me dance. I could go on. I could. I won't. Alright, 87. Club Nouveau with their remake of Lean On Me.
Mm-mm.
Obviously famous for the movie starring, was it Denzel Washington? Because it wasn't Samuel L. Jackson, because he didn't say motherfucker in every other word, but Lean On Me, originally recorded by Ben E. King, and then redone for the 1986 theatrical release, directed by Rob Reiner, who we just lost here several weeks ago. 1988, Jill, Man in the Mirror by Michael Jackson off the Bad album.
Yeah. Not my
This
favorite,
was-
but I didn't hate it either.
All right, have you seen the music video?
I don't think I
Yeah,
have.
it's- Okay, please go on YouTube, look up official Bad video Michael Jackson, and you will have a greater appreciation for the song based solely on what they did with the music video.
Wait, is that the one where they show like the starving kids and stuff?
Yes,
Okay, I have seen it. I have.
it's worth a revisit
Yeah.
because they don't show John Kennedy's head being blown off, but they did show footage of Robert Kennedy being held moments after being shot by Saran in the kitchen of that hotel in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Michael Jackson had a thumb on the pulse, and that was very relevant in his music videos. Man in the Mirror, one of the most impactful music videos I've ever seen, if I can be honest with you.
Okay.
That brings us to 1989, the Bangles with Eternal Flame, one of the ultimate love songs of the 1980s.
Yep.
Oops. So that essentially is April 1st in the 1980s, Joe, and you look back, you're like, damn, a lot of these things we touch on, like anytime I see the Bangles name mentioned on our list, our countdown here, it's like they are really one of those bands that is synonymous with the 1980s.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I realize other musical artists specifically have had success beyond the 80s, but it was the 1980s that made them relevant. Joan Jett.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck did she do in the 1990s? Not a whole hell of a lot.
Mm-mm.
Even in this day and age, her biggest claim to fame are the songs that she recorded in the early 80s. I Love Rock and Roll, I Hate Myself for Loving You,
Remake
Bad
of
Reputation,
Yep. Remake of Crimson and Clover.
which I've not heard, if I can be honest with you. But it's at the same time, it's like, God damn it. Listen, next week, and I've mentioned this a couple of times, next week I'm turning 50 fucking years old. And up until this very moment in time, it didn't bother me. You know what I mean? Like, it's a number. I don't feel like I'm 50.
Yeah.
I feel like I could walk into a wrestling ring tomorrow and become world heavyweight champion. Straight up. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm not trying to be cute. I know I can do that. I could do that. I know I could. But you look, the way people perceive 50 now in our demographic, it's like 50 is the new 30.
Yeah. I
And
don't
totally
feel
agree with
52.
that. I don't fucking feel 50. You look, you can't really see it right now because I have my girl's backdrop up. But all around my office here, I've got professional wrestling action figures still in boxes attached to my wall. Posters, mementos, memorabilia. Like I've got it all in this little fucking ass apartment. But a lot of this is, I'll look up, like right here's my Macho Man wall, and right in front of me, this whole thing is Hulk Hogan. And those two guys were the epitome of the 80s for me.
Yeah.
Behind this screen, I've got like Back to the Future shit, I've got Blues Brothers shit, I've got Rocky shit, things, icons, characters that mean something to me.
Yeah.
Jill, can you really think for 1 second, like our kids, your kids, Your kids and my kids are in different generation gaps, I feel like. But both of our kids, are they going to look back on any aspect of their childhood and be like, oh, I really loved, I can't think of the show that, oh my God. It was a Disney show. The one girl played both twins. Liv and Maddie. Liv and Maddie.
Okay.
Dove Cameron played both parts here. I watch those shows because of my kids love those shows. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But is Liv and Maddie going to stand the test of time?
Right.
No, they're not.
I've
They're
never
not.
heard of
They're
it.
just not. Because you go on a lot of these streaming platforms. Family Ties has its own channel. Married with Children has its own channel. X-Files has its own channel. There's a number of different TV shows that have 24/7 channels on, like Pluto TV.
Yeah. Are you going to be here for a quick minute? Because I gotta make a quick trip.
You go do what you got to do, and I will make mention of our online stores.
Okay.
So you go ahead and do that. Listen, we certainly, and I know this is running a little bit long this week, but this is what happens when we don't record for quite a bit of time between episodes. But please check out our online store, pfcstore.printify.me. Has all of the merchandise for all of our shows here across the platforms here on the network. If you're a fan of Creepy Soup with Jill and her daughter Judy, they have their own online store at pfccreepysoup.printify.me. I do also want to make mention that the Sports Reel podcast that you hear every Tuesday night live within the 6 o'clock hour, PFC Sports Reel .printify.me. A lot of t-shirts, sweatshirts, hats, mugs with the various logos and designs of all of our great shows here on the Sports Reel podcast. So check that out. pfcsportsreel.printify.me. And Jill and her daughter Judy, pfccreepysoup.printify.me. And real quick, one more time, and we'll throw this up there if you're watching us on Spotify. Go ahead and scan that QR code that you see on the flyer. You just went off the screen. I'm going to pull it back up here. Scan that QR code. Make a donation. Make it a point to circle this date on your calendar. Join us. Join Creepy Soup. Join the PFC network. Join Oh My Stars and Stones for this very important fundraiser that's going to be happening live Saturday, April the 25th from Oh My Stars and Stones, 3923 Bay Road in Saginaw, Michigan, area code 989-341-1007 for all the latest information, admission information, event information. One more time, area code 989-341-1007. Oh My Stars and Stones. And they are once again located at 3923 Bay Road in Saginaw, Michigan. And we're going to be a part of this big fundraiser that's coming up Saturday, April the 25th. You heard earlier in the broadcast, and as we move forward here in the weeks leading up to this event, we're going to be spending a tremendous amount of time hyping this up. It is April the 25th. Oh My Stars and Stones in collaboration with Creepy Soup and the PFC Entertainment Network is going to throw its name into the proverbial ring. I'm coming out, Jill. We're going to bring out the equipment. We're going to make this as big as possible for this fundraising effort. So,
Cool. I can't tell you how much I appreciate that. That is amazing.
well, I like you a little bit, not too much, but a little bit. I don't want your head to get too big.
Right.
Stay tuned to our socials. Creepy Soup, the PFC Network, on this day in the 80s. Stay tuned to all of our pages on Facebook. Hit us up over on TikTok at PFC Network or on X, formerly known as Twitter. You can find us there on the PFC Network. And check out our online store, pfcstore.printify.me, for all things Creepy Soup, pfccreepysoup.printify.me, and for all things Sports Reel Podcast with Tim Sheridan and Dickhead Eric Mendel. That is pfcsportsreel. Look, you laugh, but this motherfucker Torment, he bullies me on the air, Jill, if I can be honest with you. pfcsportsreel.printify.me. So that's all my plugs this week. Although next Friday, April the 10th, our annual. We've done this for 3 years now. This will be our 4th year. The anticipated WrestleMania preview edition of the Fatal 4-Way live on ONTV. Friday, April the 10th, beginning at 6 p.m. I'm going to try to shoehorn an extended time slot. I'm going to try to get an extra half hour because there's a lot to break down when you talk about the crown jewel of sports entertainment in WrestleMania. But Saturday, April 10th, 6 p.m., look for Orient, ONTV on Facebook and YouTube. You'll be able to correspond with us live on that show. That's going to be a big show, Jill. I know you're not a wrestling fan, but let me tell you something. I believe I can tell you that I'm looking forward to this as a WrestleMania card for the first time in a long time.
Okay.
So that statement alone is like, man, this feels like WrestleMania coming up. And I'm rocking the WrestleMania 14 shirt with Shawn Michaels, Stone Cold Steve Austin. For those who are watching on Spotify, I have to at least acknowledge that. So, anything else you want to throw out there before we put a bow on this week's episode 2 hours later? I'm so sorry.
No, I think that's it.
Love you. Appreciate you. Thank you for being patient with me, Joe. Thank you to all of our fans for being patient with me. This was 100% because of me. All right, I will take the hit. And deservedly so, because I kind of call the shots around here. But hopefully you got something from this episode. You had a chuckle or two. I know I did. She did. And hopefully you did. So with that, go out this week. Be awesome to yourselves and to each other. We'll see you next time right here on This Day in the 80s here on the PFC Entertainment Network.